I'll make this brief. I've been watching the videos. They are really fascinating. I really enjoy everyone's remarks, more than just being kind of a narcissistic, navel gazing um, assemblage. I think it's a way for a lot of people to find out that they're not alone, that they share a lot of universal concerns, and uh, I think it's good. I think it's good to air things, um, to have group discussions. And one of the things that actors rarely do, I think, especially on the West Coast, is uh, get in touch with a community. I think actors need an ensemble, I think, in order to truly um, find a satisfying place in things. If you do it by yourself, you just keep adding layers and layers and layers of vanity and insulation, and eventually you wind up, you know, like a lot of people walking around Hollywood, who stand around looking at you with glassy eyes like doughy totem poles, wary that you would even look at them. What do you want? What do you want of me? You want something from me. You don't just want to say, "Hi, how are you?" You want me to get you something that you lack. Uh, that's, in fact, that happened to me this morning with a big famous person who I've met and known and hung out with a little bit. Um, but there was no warmth to be had. There was just suspicion. And this happens a lot out here in the West Coast. Not so much in New York, I find. I'm a New Yorker. I think that not enough credit is given to that community of New Yorkers, the overarching community, but also specifically the acting community, the theatrical community. It's not just actors, it's all sorts of creative people, writers, directors, producers. There are creative, wonderful producers out there too. And there is a palpable sense of community that is reassuring, and it has a kind of living history that you can touch, the string that runs from the past, the present, and hopefully to the future is still thrumming with the impressions people and projects and feelings and thoughts have made. And that's very reassuring to be a part of a continuum. and and so I think sad conversation, while it is billed as sad conversation, is actually healthy interaction. I really believe that. It's important in this age where people are finding themselves more and more um, distanced, insulated through technological advances. Again, I think it's very important. Anyway, but I did want to just bring up one thing, and this goes out to people who have kids, and it also goes out to people who don't have kids, but um, who can look on with an objective eye. Um, a friend of mine, another parent, who's a bit spacey but pleasant. He's a barefoot runner. He runs barefoot through New York. I mean, with real kind of purpose, will run up through the entire expanse of Manhattan, through tough neighborhoods who look on this guy with, they back away. They back away from the shaven-headed white guy running barefoot through their streets. But he claims that it's good. Um, he has two sons. He and his wife have two sons, and they lead a life that's full of yoga and soft speaking and shamans and ointments and unguents and crystals and all this thing. It's very LA. Some of it is, I guess, effective. Anyway, but the other day we were out getting pizza, decidedly non-healthy product, and his son stepped off the curb into the parking lot with no real dangerous traffic, but just the act of stepping off the curb into an area that he was more or less forbidden, prompted this quiet, barefoot running, yoga inclined guy to reach out and pull this kid by the hair. He had long hair, and grab him in such a shocking way that it made me feel guilty for all the times that I have lashed out at my children. I mean, I yell at my boys from time to time. I've scared them on occasion by yelling at them. Again, people with children, especially sons, might be sympathetic because by the time yelling comes out, I don't come out of the gate yelling. It takes me 5 or 6 escalating requests, escalating in volume, escalating in intensity, in order to get somebody to turn off a light, flush a toilet, close a door. All those things that impede progress. But this incident where he grabbed this kid's hair was really kind of ferocious. And it's stuck with me. I tried to leave in one of my earlier flawed, either silent or sped up or useless videos. I tried to talk about how thin a skin I have. And it's remarkable given the fact that the word no is flung at me with great regularity, and I've gotten used to that. But as with my initial spat, I suppose, or hurt feelings with Josh, having satirized an angry exchange, which I took seriously, I find that for a person who, I guess, prides myself on having a sense of humor, I found myself terribly humorless and thin-skinned. So, I think it's interesting to be talking about these things. Obviously, to keep them as interesting as possible. Humor being a great interest arouser. But it's also good to see people in their kind of unvarnished environments. I like that. But again, I'm happy to be among you, one among many, in an expanding world. And I hope we can all make a lot of money out of this.